Good morning, and in this episode we're going to talk about boating on Lough Erne. Hopefully you'll enjoy it because we have had a great summer up there and we're going to tell you our good bits and bad bits, I suppose.
That's it, that's all coming up
shortly. Anybody that's following the channel for the past couple of months will know that in April we left the Shannon and went up the Ballinamore Canal and up to Lough Erne.
We spent the whole of the 2008 season up on Lough Erne.
2018.
I beg your pardon, the 2018 season up on Lough Erne, and it was a great opportunity for us to get to see what they have. Lough Erne is very, very different to the River Shannon, isn't it?
Yes,
and it's very different to the Shannon Erne waterway. So they're three very distinct, different waterways. And what we're going to do in this video is we're going to kind of share with you the differences and the quirks and the good and the bad and what we felt about Lough Erne. Lough Erne. And we're going to talk a little bit about hire companies. So if you're interested in hiring a boat up there, we'll go through a little bit like that. There's lots of fishing up in Lough Erne. There's also the International Fishing Centre is based up there in Belturbet. So fishing is a huge thing up in Lough Erne.
Just something from that I would have picked up on is if you're mooring near a road or whatever, there would be, and most of the moorings where there'd be a road close by, there'd be a slipway, and you're guaranteed on the weekends to have every jet skier in the north of Ireland will come to the mooring.
That's actually a very good point.
You're on.
And you'll see that on the charts. If you see on the chart that there's a slipway there, you know that there's also going to be jet skis and speedboats there.
Then you have in Enniskillen, you have rowing. You have two rowing clubs.
You have at least two rowing clubs that we know of. But again, rowing is a hugely popular sport on Lough Erne.
But even down on the Shannon, it is like
a
lot in that loan as well. And in Limerick, you have a lot of rowing clubs. I presume
the thing with rowing is that those boats, they don't take much of a wave, so you've got to give way to them. You've got to slow down and be patient.
Don't expect them to wave back.
Yeah. So you've got a lot of water skiing, and I think we kind of felt that water skiing was based around two main hubs, around Castle Archdale
and around the Killyhaven Hotel.
Yes, and in fact there is a water skiing jetty, solely for water skiing at the Killyhaven Hotel.
That didn't stop us now stopping at the Killyhaven Hotel because the food is lovely there and it's not that expensive.
And the jetty at the Killyhaven Hotel has a speed limit. They won't go water skiing by it, so that won't bother you. But it's just to be something to be mindful of. And where you've water skiing, you'll have wakeboarding and so on. But that's an idea of some of the activities that are going on in Lough Erne. I would say that there's an awful lot more jet skis and water skiing on Lough Erne than there is on the River Shannon. That's my personal opinion of it.
Yeah.
You may or may not agree with me.
And then in Enniskillen you can hire out a little day boat.
Yeah, and in Belturbet too.
Yes, in Belturbet. But a little day boat, and they're little red boats, and it's lovely to see families going out in them.
Yeah.
And there again, you do kind of slow down.
And they have a little bit of a canopy on them as well, so just in case, in the highly unlikely event that it would actually start raining, you have somewhere to get in out of the rain. Contrary to common belief, we do not live on the boat. We get to the boat for our holidays and we get up here for weekends. So that leaves you with a bit of a problem when you're moving the boat from A to B, that you have to have somewhere to leave it. It's against the rules to leave your boat unattended in a harbour for any long period of time. It's also extremely frowned upon to leave unattended boats in a harbour and to bugger off back home and come back the following weekend. We don't do it. So we find ourselves booking into private marinas along the way, but what we're booking in for is short-term stays. Short-term stays of a few days or a week or two are very difficult to get.
Yeah.
Right? But if you're staying for a month at a time, that's not too bad. There is an enormous variation in costs. We found this, and the variation is unbelievable.
And we're going to say it
they start from people who wanted over 500. I have to look at it here. They start off from the highest being £560 sterling a month to a mooring only a few miles away that was 100 euros a month with better facilities. This is the kind of variation that there is out there, guys.
The one for 500 was in a town, close enough to the town.
Yeah.
You could walk, whereas the one for 100, you couldn't walk to the town. But
we didn't say it, obviously, in every private marina up there. We spoke to a lot of them and we stayed in about half a dozen. We started off initially in Belturbet. We stayed in the Belturbet Boat Club, which is just across the river from Belturbet town. It was
Sean was a lovely guy.
Great guy to deal with.
Yeah.
Very, very nice. There's a nice atmosphere there. There's free Wi-Fi, there's parking, there's lift-out facilities, there's storage on the hard, there's a mechanic on site.
And that's a hire company as well.
They hire out, Auchinver boats also hire out from Belturbet. You can also hire day boats there. That was on the plus. On the bad side was that it was on the wrong side of the river from the town. So when you came down, if you were just come down for an evening and you wanted to go out for a meal or go for a beer, you had to bring the boat across the other side of the river, or you would have quite a bit of a walk. It's not a big deal. Cost was very, very good. We paid €120 per month there. Bear in mind, we were paying by the month. If you were booking in for a longer period of time, you'd be able to negotiate a better rate. But still, the facilities were spot on.
Spot on. Beautiful showers, toilets. Everything was spotless there. It really was.
We had a hook up for electricity as well, and
you bought an electricity card.
That's right.
Like €10 or €20 for your card.
Yeah. So the next mooring we went to was in Kerry Bridge.
Yeah, but we were having a job done on the boat.
We were, and we were booked in there. We only paid for 1 week, and we paid £50 sterling for the week. Again, if you were paying for a month, paying for 3 months, 6 months, 12 months, cheaper. I'm sure you'd negotiate a better rate. We found the moorings quite tight to get the boat into, and if there was a flow in the river, which there would be at certain times of year, you would find it difficult.
On the plus side there, you could just walk over the bridge and you had the hotel.
The hotel there,
and
which does a lovely lunch.
Yeah.
They do a grand lunch. I don't think we ate there in the evening time, but certainly the lunches were very good. It's surprisringly good, actually, to be honest with you.
And like there again, there's 3 or 4 different moorings along there. We just went to Kerry Bridge because they had a
mechanic on site, and we needed to get a job done on the boat, which they did. We stayed for 2 weeks, I think, there. Yeah, we had it there for 2 weeks, and they did a superb job with no problems with them whatsoever. It's a nice spot. There is no town nearby, so again, if you need a pint of milk, we'll come to that. Actually, we're going to cover that later on in sort of good tips to boating here.
Then the kind of summer kind of came on top of us, and we decided we'd go back down to Kibi Waters. Yep. It's a beautiful marina, isn't it? In the middle of nowhere. That was only €100 a month.
Can I stop you there? We were up in Enniskillen, and we inquired about getting moorings in Enniskillen, and we inquired at Lochside Marina. This is a marina. It's in Enniskillen, but a little bit like Belturbet, it's on the wrong side of the river, so you have quite a walk to get back. We were quoted there
£20 a night.
There was no discount for staying for a week or even a month, so it was £560 sterling for a month.
Now,
the jetties were not good quality. We didn't stay there, guys, and but that's the experience we had. I'm going to put it out there, and in fairness, the marina was up for sale. I don't think they really wanted any customers, and
we've just heard in the past couple of weeks it has been sold, and the best of luck to the new owners.
Yes,
I'm sure they'll do wonders there.
It's a lovely idyllic spot, and I'd certainly go back there. Those are the prices that we were quoted. That's why we didn't stay there. I'm sure that by the time the 2019 season comes along, it will be completely different, and I'd recommend you go check it out. But don't stay there 2018. That's my advice to you. What we did was we went downriver and we went to Kibi Marina, and instead of paying £560 sterling, we paid €100 for a month. We had a lovely finger jetty, we had a hookup for electricity, we had water, we had parking.
The electricity was included in that
toilets.
And there was a room there then in the evenings,
on a
Friday evening, that a lot of the boaters would, if they weren't going out for the weekend, would congregate and have
maybe game of cards and
or a cup of tea
whatever.
Or glass of wine.
There was also there was lift out facilities there. There was storage on the hard.
Yeah.
And
David was real nice.
Yeah, David Cool, I think his name is, a very nice guy too. But again, very welcoming, and this was actually one thing that struck us about Kibi that we didn't notice in any other marina. It was just a lovely atmosphere there. It wasn't. There was a real community atmosphere.
Yeah.
I'd highly recommend it. Kibi Marina is just south of the border by about 100 metres.
Yeah.
And I have to say, it was probably our favourite marina.
I think so. Yeah. I would say it was my favourite.
So it's in a good location, isn't it? You're close to the.
No, but you're not near a town. Like there again, you can't run out for a pint of milk. You can't get your newspaper in the morning.
That's
but
true.
You bring your stuff with you.
Where did we go to after Kibi?
After Kibi,
we went to Auchinver.
But we were in Kibi for about 2 months.
2 months,
because Harry got ill, and he's all right again.
Grand, grand. But
we had to leave the boat there for 2 months, so we did miss out on a lot at that stage.
Yeah. You might notice there was a bit of a break up in the blogs during the summertime. That was just the way things worked out, but grand. So we went from there, we went up to Lough Erne.
We had a week's holidays then, and we went up to Lough Erne.
Yeah, that's north of Enniskillen. Lough Erne was, again, it's a very very remote location. It was a lovely little mooring.
And really sheltered, and you were close.
Very sheltered, yeah.
The reason that we kind of wanted to go up there was you were only about half an hour from Lustybeg.
Yeah, and from anything really, well, you'd all have, it gives an opportunity to explore the broad loch. But you had your finger jetty, you had electricity, you had water, you had parking, you had toilets, you had showers.
Yeah.
You had limited Wi-Fi. Okay, Wi-Fi wasn't good.
Yeah, but it's down in a hollow.
You could get it in the office, I think, and that, but you couldn't get it on the boat. You had lift-out facilities, and I think that you had a mechanic on site. I'm pretty sure you did.
Yeah, pretty sure.
And like Belturbet Boat Club, Lough Erne is where is another hire base. So you can hire in Lough Erne, you can hire in Belturbet.
And you can drop, I think you can do one way. Yeah,
but also if you're on a private boat and you pay for 12 months in Belturbet Boat Club, you can also then go to Lough Erne and you can swap around, which is really a great idea.
Yeah,
it's free of charge. Yeah. Well, once you paid your 12-month mooring, not for 6 months or 3 months now, but that's actually a brilliant idea because they're both at different parts of the lake, and it gives you a great chance to see everything.
Lough Erne then was £120 sterling
for a month. Again, guys, if you're staying for 6 months, 12 months, you can negotiate a better deal. But it was good value for what we got.
Yeah.
From there, then we started heading back south. So we stayed in Erne Marine in Ballinalack. We only stayed there for 1 week, and it's probably not fair to say the price because we got a bit of
it was.
He was doing us a favour because
they don't normally do weekly.
They don't normally do short-term moorings, and he was getting us out of a spot. But thanks very much.
During the summer, we had met about 5 boats from Lough Erne.
This is the Bigfoot Boat Club.
Yeah, and hello to everybody in the Bigfoot.
Yeah. We had one of the
best nights.
The Bigfoot Boat Club. We had one of the best nights we had on Lough Erne actually with them.
And just like to say thank you so much. We had a great night.
We had a great bit of music and a great bit of crack, and we had another couple up with us, Des and Anne, and they had good crack with that.
Oh, it was the best night really on the Erne.
So let's move on to public moorings. Okay.
As I spoke a little bit a minute ago about the jetty or the slipways at public moorings. Yeah. You do got to have that.
Yeah, if you see a slipway, expect speedboats.
Yeah.
That's
but
fair
then
enough.
There are the islands going out to the
This
island.
is where the Shannon and Lough Erne differ. In the Shannon we put moorings at locations, at towns. In Lough Erne they put moorings everywhere, and I love it. It's my single biggest graw for Lough Erne is these lovely secluded moorings. They have moorings on islands, and just imagine it, you get an island maybe to yourself for the night.
Yeah,
that is beautiful. It's lovely. You can have picnics, sometimes there's a pit fire. Sometimes they've been built by Waterways Ireland, and sometimes they've been built by locals just with a few stones around it. I've no idea what the law is regarding lighting a fire on these islands, but we actually didn't light any. And but if you do, you have to obviously be careful, especially in the summer we had this year, that you don't burn the bloody place down.
Can I just say now about going on islands, right?
Yeah.
There is no bin truck can get to an island. Mm-hmm. So if you bring stuff with you, bring it home. I mean, I'm sure people did
people
go to an island, and whoever had been there, I'm going to say the week before, could have been the day before.
There was a
lot of bottles
rubbish.
And cans. Bottles don't burn. Cans don't burn.
And even broken deck chairs. Don't destroy it. Bring your litter home. If you can bring it there, you can bring it back again.
Yeah.
And they're beautiful, idyllic spots. You don't expect the bin truck to pull up at an island. You won't get water at an island either.
No.
Okay.
No. You won't get a pint of milk.
You won't. Now this brings us to another point. You see, Lough Erne is it's 3 main locations in that you've Belturbet, Enniskillen and Billig. Other than those places, there's nowhere else you can really buy a pint of milk even. So when you go to town, you have to stock up. I would say to you 2 things. Put your UHT milk or long life milk of some sort. Keep a pint of that on the boat, because if you run out,
it's emergency. I don't.
I couldn't live without a cup of tea. And but once you know that, and once you're prepared for it, you can go and spend your week going around all these lovely spots. If you have teenage kids and you bring them to any big town, be it on the Shannon or on the Erne, it's going to cost you a fortune. If you take them out to one of these islands, there are no shops. They'll go swimming, they'll go canoeing, or whatever they're doing.
Yeah.
And it doesn't cost you anything. And
fishing.
They're having real reality instead of virtual reality, and it's so much better for the kids, but it costs you nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you can actually boat there extremely cheaply for that reason, because there isn't so many shops around, and there isn't so many pubs, and there isn't so many restaurants.
Yeah, and like if you, as we were discussing earlier on, like if you were going on a stag weekend, unless you're going to take a boat and go to Enniskillen, Belturbet, Beleek or Kesh, you're really not going to get that's the pubs and
there isn't the pub scene. Now I do love going to a pub. I enjoy the crack and a bit of banter, and I did miss that in Lough Erne. There is not a whole lot of pubs. There are a few. There's Knockkinney.
That's
lovely.
Knockkinney, and on a Sunday afternoon,
they do music
from 5 to 7.
It is. I mean, there are a handful of pubs,
right,
but
not
a whole lot.
See, can we remember? Right. Okay.
How many?
Yeah.
How many there were?
Right, in Belturbet, there's loads of pubs.
That's a town, but you see.
Okay. So when we come out of there, then you have to go to Knockkinney. There is
well, you've Kerry Bridge. There's the hotel in Kerry Bridge. You have a point there.
Knockkinney. You have the moorings. There's a restaurant there
that's
as well.
Right, and a bar.
And a bar.
That's
and then
just below Enniskillen.
Then you have the Killyhaven Hotel.
Yep. Again,
and then you have obviously Enniskillen. And then when you go up past Enniskillen, you can have a drink in the Lough Erne Resort.
Lough Erne Resort.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have the yacht club. I'm sure we didn't call into the yacht club, but I'm sure you'd be very welcome.
And you have Manor House.
You have Manor House. You can call in there. That's true.
We didn't call in there.
We didn't call in, but you could.
And then you have
Lusty Beg Island.
And then Beleek, Kesh and Beleek.
And I can think of one other spot.
Where?
Castle Archdale.
Oh, right.
That seems like a lot of pubs, but it's actually not in reality. But another lovely thing about Lough Erne, the castles.
Oh, wow.
How many castles are there? I mean, there's Crom Castle, there's Enniskillen Castle, there's Castle Archdale, there's Castle Caldwell. There's a plethora of castles. It's lovely. The scenery is gorgeous. But I mean, even go back in time before the castles, you have the Devonish Island and the Round Tower, and
there is so much to do that
there's a load to see. We spent a season doing it, guys. We didn't see everything. Yeah. There is a lot to see.
Yeah.
So our tips for going to islands is bring your long life milk or UHT milk. Bring stuff for lighting a barbecue or maybe lighting a pit fire. Bring plastic bags for your rubbish.
Now we're going just a quick
look at the hire companies.
Right.
Yeah.
So as we said, in Belturbet we have Aughenver.
Yes. Now Aughenver Boat Club hire out from two. They're the only boat club or only hire company on the river that hire out in two locations. So they're in Aughenver on the Broad Loch, and they're also in Belturbet on the upper loch. So you can hire in one location and go to the other and do a one-way trip.
Yeah, then from there you have Carrycraft.
You have Carrycraft as
well.
They're
at the moorings in Ballinalack.
They're the only hire company that are on the Shannon and on Lough Erne. I'm sure you could organise a one-way trip with them, maybe two.
Then we have Manor House Marine. Yeah.
Yeah. Other than that, there was they were the only cruiser hire companies that we came across. There may well be other smaller ones that we didn't come across, and if you know of one, put it in the comments below.
If you come onto the canal, you have Riversdale. They do
barges you have Riversdale and Curraquill cruisers. They hire out beautiful barges, and they're right convenient to Lough Erne. They're really very convenient to Lough Erne. Yeah.
But then if you don't fancy going by boat, or you don't want to hire a boat.
If you don't have a boat. You can do day stuff, can't you?
Yeah.
Because you've got, how many, in Enniskillen, you've got the Kestrel, just north of, and he does day trips.
And he takes you out from Enniskillen, he takes you over to Devonish Island.
Yeah.
Then I think as far as I know, he'll come down as far as Kerry Bridge.
Right.
I'm sure he has, we'll put a link in the description for his website.
Right, okay.
Below, because I'm not sure what he does.
There's also another tour boat that goes out of just north of Enniskillen. I can't recall the name of the place, but he also goes to Devonish Island.
Yeah, and then there's the Lady of the Lake that goes out up. Yes.
On the Broad Loch.
On the Broad Loch, yeah.
And do you know what else there is? There's the taxi. There's a water taxi in Enniskillen, and I think he charges about £60 an hour, and it's a superb boat. Looks gorgeous, and so even if you don't have a boat, you can still go boating on Lough Erne. Where could you get it?
Yeah, I mean, okay, if you don't have a boat, you can still go boating. But you'll have so much track. I mean, you can play golf up around Fermanagh. It's just
golf
beautiful.
Everywhere too.
There's golf.
You have the Lough Erne Resort.
Fishing. You have the International Fishing Centre in Belturbet.
Yeah.
You have, I mean, every other place you go to, there's fishermen bar the island.
Do you know what else there is? I have to tell you, Lough Erne is, the scenery is, it's beautiful. There's people say to us, oh, which do you prefer, the upper lake or the lower lake? I think the upper lake is more beautiful. Others think the lower lake is more beautiful. They are both stunning. The scenery is just fantastic. And when you look out at the scenery, you look at the islands and the lakes, and you think, I can see why people say the 40 shades of green. It really is 40 shades of green, and it's
and the mountains,
beautiful.
Magoo,
the cliffs of Magoo.
They were fabulous. We saw them
lovely,
from the water.
Spectacular spot.
And like one day we took the car and we drove up, and they didn't look as nice.
Yeah.
I mean, they were fabulous from the water.
Everything looks nicer from the water.
Yeah.
And if you do get a chance to go to Castle Archel, remember that there's a flying boat museum there, well worth seeing. And there's also the jetties. We didn't show them in the video, but we do have photographs on Driftwood Boat Blog, showing you the lovely aerial shots there of the jetties, and that's where the Catalinas and the Sunderlands would go in to be serviced. And you can actually see on either side where there would have been room for the skis on the wings, the pontoons that would have been on the wings for them to go into.
As we're finishing up, what would you give the holiday in Lough Erne?
Oh,
out of 10.
Jeepers, it would. The only thing that would stop me giving it a 10 would be the lack of pubs. Other than that, I think I really enjoyed it. I really warmed to Lough Erne. I think it's. I would certainly do another season up there.
Certainly,
I definitely would. It was superb. It was really lovely.
It was.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it. You know another thing about it, because on Lough Erne there's no locks.
Yeah.
Strange, isn't it? And because you don't have any locks, you can passage plan much easier. You can work out how long it's going to take you to get from A to B, because you're not worrying about locks in between. You can travel. Time doesn't really matter. You can travel in the evening time. You can travel at night if you're
obviously you're not going to go out at night time,
No, you can, but and some boats do. But you're not tied down to the locks.
No. On the Shannon you are, because they close at 8 o'clock.
Yeah.
In the summertime they open.
It's only when we got up there we realised that's actually quite a big thing. It really is, to be able to have that independence.
There was some Friday evenings we would have got up there around 7 o'clock, 7:30, and we could still get out of Quivy when we were in Quivy at that stage. We could have got out of Quivy and went over to one of the other moorings.
Yes, had there been a lock in between, we would have been restricted. Yeah. So that's a fair point. Not having locks on the waterway is really good. My favourite mooring of the whole lot, and as a public mooring, has to be Enniskillen. It's south facing, and because there's such a plethora of moorings in Lough Erne, no matter what way the wind is coming from, you can have a look at the chart and you'll find a mooring that's in the lee, and that's how we discovered Enniskillen. Well, it's not how we discovered it. It's because enough people put comments in telling us you got to go to Enniskillen, and it was absolutely beautiful.
See that. We weren't there when the bluebells were there.
No, but if you go to Enniskillen in late May, early June, I'm told it is full of bluebells. I've seen photographs of it, and it really is. It's a great sight. You probably won't be able to get a mooring now because everybody will be moored up there. But sorry.
So thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed that,
I hope you found it.
Thumbs up.
Hope you found it useful as well. And guys, please put loads of comments in below. Loads of information, good spots to go and visit, but especially the moorings and how much the moorings cost, because that is really important. And if you enjoyed the video, guys, there's YouTube will prompt you there with other videos that we've done. Please have a look at them, and don't forget the bottom right hand corner of your screen, that red subscribe button. Please click on that. It's the only way to make sure you won't miss the next video.
Cheerio.